what you're hearing is silence. Maybe a vehicle in the very far distance, but pretty quiet. These are the farm fields of Meco, and today's destination is not that far ahead, but this isn't my favorite road because it has some trenches and such, just to be careful around. I haven't been on this particular road since the heavy rains, but I have made other videos out of these fields, mostly going into Guadalajara, which is the next province. The one thing I've noticed about the dropper seat post is how it gives me a sense of stability to have the seat lower, where I think the terrain gets a little sketchy. Now, it's probably hard to see in the video, but there's a rain ditch on the left, which would make for an abrupt stop. And in the middle of this road, there's little ruts. In general, these tires climb out of ruts rather well, but the eddy current is really at home on rocks. It does well, they do well in sand. Wow. Storks. I think they're storks. No. Well, some of them are, but some of them... Some of them look more like pheasant. I don't... Wow. What magnificent beasts. At first I thought they were storks because they're not so uncommon in these fields, but their tails are all wrong. And storks have long legs. At any rate, we'll try not to disturb them. I just recently installed little plastic inserts around the valve stems because these tires, these wheels I should say, are designed around Schrader valves, which are similar to what's on an automobile, and they have very fat stems. And I use Presta, which are narrow metallic stems, and they have a propensity to rattle. So by putting these inserts, and they were remarkably inexpensive. I got, I think, 10 of them in a package. You just slide them on and it keeps the valve straight. But you don't want the valve to be straight because you push it. You have to make sure it's aligned and then slide these things on, and the insert will help keep water out of the rim, which is hollow. And one of the problems I had some months ago was water got into the rim and dissolved the glue of the rim tape, causing it to separate. And I was actually not far from here, but in the Villanueva de la Torre, and I got a flat tire and I couldn't figure it. I thought I got a puncture, but when I pulled the tire off, I realized the rim tape had moved. I just happened to not have any that time, so I straightened it up the best I could so I could make it home. And then when I got home, I had to clean off the glue with a heat gun and kind of a scrub brush, which melted. It was a mess. It took me hours to get the glue off, because there was no point leaving the glue and putting fresh rim tape, because it would act as a lubricant. So the rim tape, the new fresh rim tape from Velox, I think I'm using Velox, would simply move. There's also another, what is it? Hold on. Oh, there's other brands, but nevertheless, the stuff I was using was from Decathlon, and it was, in other words, department store written tape, and not particularly trustworthy. So I threw all that away. I had a couple extra rolls of it. They went into the trash can, and I replaced them. I'm not sure if I used Velox. That's the one that I would recommend. Any name brand product actually would be okay, but don't buy Decathlon rim tape. Decathlon's okay for a lot of things, especially clothes. All the clothes I'm wearing came from Decathlon. I do also use Gore products, which are quite good. And there's a time and a place for Gore. This is one of those situations you gotta slide your hips over. Suppose I could ride up in the middle ridge, which is relatively flat, but I have to get there first. I don't feel comfortable there. I feel comfortable here. This gets a lot better very shortly. It's not as bad as I thought it would be considering all the rains we've had. Nevertheless, the bicycle's performing quite nicely. The new Bafang motor is doing its job beautifully. And it is noticeably more powerful than that 350 watt Yosi. It does add some weight, but it can handle it. The main thing was to dish the wheel correctly so that I would be centered. For whatever reason, the only wheel that ever came in ready to go without having me to touch a spoke were the Yosis. They did a good job. And I never, in fact, I don't remember chewing that last wheel. Maybe I touched it up, but I don't believe I ever touched it, to be honest. At least that significantly. Okay. So, let's be a little careful of traffic here because this is kind of a highway. You might be able to see this tree in front. It's just loaded with beautiful flowers. It's awesome to see the trees blooming. The RapShock Ford, the Recon RL, is remarkably playful. It adds a lot of stability to the bike. keep forgetting the name of this place, but it's a great destination. The only thing I don't like about coming here is that very last stretch of highway, but as you can see, it's not terribly long. The one constant about Spanish towns is the church will be in the center and the main point of the whole affair, and usually on the highest hill, such as this one. We are looking at Palacio del Marqués de CAMPOFLORIDO. I don't know more about it than that, but I just looked it up on Google Maps because I forgot the name of it. I don't think this is a tourist hotspot. It looks far more like a residential type of an affair, but it's got a cool name. Well, I think that'll do it.